Can I ask you a question? This is a very strange question. I don't think anybody has ever asked you this before. It's a question that can change everything. A question that turns your life upside down for the better. This is the question. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a world that is not ruled by evil? Can you imagine that it could be even possible to live in a world that is not submitted to the powers of darkness, perversion, corruption, poison, all kinds of wickedness everywhere, control, oppression, poverty? I mean, we are raised in a world that is full with evil. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. No matter where you look, there is wickedness. Turn on the television, all you see is bullshit, is deception, is distraction, is just nonsense. Perversion, violence, death. Is it possible? Is it even possible that our world could become 100% different? That perversion would not be everywhere. That governments would not be corrupt. That education would not be indoctrination, but actually uplifting, empowering, preparing children to become more than they could ever dream to be. Could it be possible that the food industry would become so pure, so healthy, that every food you buy heals your body, feeds your cells, detoxifies your system, renews you from the inside out? Is that possible? I want to ask you this question because I believe it is. For the past 25 years, this is a message that has come to me over and over and over again. I believe it's a message from the Creator. David, dare to change your mind. Dare to think differently. Dare to envision a world that is no longer submitted to the powers of evil. Envision a world where the good people are in authority, where people who have a passion for a better world are at the heads of our government, where everyone who truly cares about humanity and about nature, about animals, about well-being, they are the ones who call the shots in our communities. No more Freemasons, no more Satanists, no more pedophiles, no more, evil people who sell their soul and betray their nation and hand over their own families for a few dollars on their bank account. It seems impossible. It seems utterly unreal, because we were born and raised in this world. We don't know how it could be different. But I want to encourage you. I am convinced in the depths of my being that we are currently experiencing the greatest transition in all of human history. We are experiencing what every soul since the beginning of time has longed for. And it seems outrageous. It sounds ridiculous to say this. But let me explain to you why I believe this. I founded StopWorldControl.com, an international multilingual platform to wake up humanity. So we reach people around the world. I get feedback from every nation in the world. Asia, Africa, Europe, Scandinavia, North America, South America, Australia, the UK, everywhere. And let me tell you, I'm observing something that has never, ever happened before in the history of the human race. Not thousands, not millions, but hundreds. Hundreds of millions of people around the world, in every nation of the earth, are waking up. There is a movement happening within humanity, a movement happening in our world that is unprecedented and is indescribable. Nation after nation after nation is waking up. Germany, Spain, Italy, Romania, the Netherlands, China, nations in Africa, Kenya, Zimbabwe, South Africa, all around the world, and of course America and Canada, Australia, the UK. You know, we can see two things. Oh, there's so much evil. Oh, look where it's headed. Oh, it's so dark. But what we can also see is, finally, the veil is finally being lifted from humanity. Finally, the powers of evil are no longer hidden. They can no longer destroy mankind without anybody even knowing that it's happening. They can no longer corrupt the governments while no one has a clue. They can no longer steal the elections without it being noticed and being shouted from the rooftops. The truth is breaking out and breaking forth and breaking through in every single nation of the world. Corruption is being exposed in every government. The poisoning of the food is coming to light at last. The cry of mankind is getting louder every single day. A shout is coming from the depths of the human race. Enough is enough. It has to stop. And let me tell you, this is not happening for no reason. Whenever this happens, whenever darkness is exposed, whenever evil is revealed, whenever the light is beginning to shine, it is always, this is a universal, timeless, eternal, unchangeable, fundamental principle. When this happens, it is a sign that judgment is here. Because darkness always operates in hiding. Darkness always conceals itself. Evil always works in a way that nobody is aware of it. And now it's being exposed. The veil is being lifted. The doors are being opened. The windows are thrown open. The wicked are being thrown out on the streets. And everybody can see their satanic agenda, their horrors that they commit against children, how they poison the human race in our mind, in our spirit, in our bodies, in our sexuality, in education, in government, in families. There's poisoning, there's terrorizing, there is torturing of the human race on every level. But this has been going on for centuries and nobody ever gave a damn. Nobody had a clue. If you talked about it, you were considered a lunatic. And now you have not thousands, not tens of thousands, not millions. You have hundreds of millions of people in every nation of the world that are shouting. They are revealing. I mean, if you open X, the social platform, if you open it, all you freaking see is exposure of evil. Look at this. Look what's happening there. See what they're doing. Oh, the government in Italy. Oh, look what the Prime Minister in Canada is doing. See what's going on in England. It is a roar that this world has never, ever seen or experienced, not even in the most remote way. That this sound of exposing evil, it is roaring And it's getting louder every day. But that's not all. It's not just exposing evil. The second phase has started. The second phase of judgment. The second phase of transformation. The second phase of the great deliverance. The second phase of leaving darkness and entering light has begun. US aid has been funding every conceivable, every imaginable activity of evil in our world. Not millions or billions, but literally thousands of billions, trillions and trillions of dollars have been sent to promote pedophilia, transgenderism, wokeism, to corrupt governments, to install the deep state in every nation, to pervert education, to control the mainstream news media, to support terrorism, to topple governments, to interfere in elections. US aid was the number one method of financing the works of evil around the whole world. And Trump stopped it, just like that. Boom! No more. And he's busy weeding out the corruption in the American government in a way that most of us don't even understand. Because nothing is perfect yet. But my God, what is going on in the American government is indescribable. And for decades, listen carefully, this is going to freak you out. A lot of people don't want to hear this, but it is the bloody truth that even half a century ago, in the 80s, that is 40 years ago, there was a monk in Italy who prophesied that a billionaire, an American businessman called Donald Trump, he didn't even know who the dude was. He just saw it in a divine vision, and he said there's going to be a man called Donald Trump and he will bring America back to God. Goodness gracious. And here we have Trump reinstating the office of faith, reintroducing prayer in the heart of the American society, bringing the Bible back, standing up to protect Christians, declaring his faith in Jesus Christ, starting meetings in the Oval Office with prayer. The prophecy is being fulfilled in front of our very eyes. And then you had the prophecy of Mark Taylor and the prophecies of Kim Clement and so many others who prophesied decades before or years before that Trump would expose all corruption. He would put an end to the evil in America. He would restore America. He would bring back the goodness of God in the land. These prophets had no clue. They did not know. They were amazed by what they were saying, and now it's happening. I believe that we are living in a time where humanity, not just America, it starts in America, but it's going to go worldwide. I believe that we will experience the greatest transformation from a world that is completely, totally submerged in perversion, in evil, in darkness, in Satanism, in extreme forms of sexual wickedness, in violence everywhere, unfaithfulness and impurity and darkness in every imaginable expression, to a world where goodness and love and healing and restoration and harmony and abundance and happiness and purity and truth will flourish and will become prominent in human society. I had several dreams about how cities will be transformed in the future. I've never seen a city like it. I saw cities full of life, full of fruit-bearing trees, full of birds and full of beauty and joy. The whole oppressive atmosphere was gone. And there was, a lightness, a freedom. There was an atmosphere of abundant life everywhere you walked. And I believe that this is where we're headed. We are at the beginning stages of that. We are at the beginning stages of the greatest transformation of this world in all of human history. And it's impossible for us to fathom. It is impossible for our minds to comprehend, because we're born and raised in a world full of darkness. How can it ever be different? It's like a fish who's always been in a little bowl, and then it hears, hey, what about going into the river? I don't believe in a river. I've heard of a river. I don't believe that rivers are real, because he's never seen it. But once you experience that it can be different, everything changes. And that's why I want to encourage you. And I want to ask you this question. Can it be? Is it possible that we are witnessing the first stages of the ultimate deliverance, where mankind will shift from darkness to light? I want to encourage you to start thinking about that. I'm going to share a whole lot more about this, so follow me here on X or on Facebook or whatever you see this. But I believe that there is something happening in our world that is going to blow our mind. And it's time that we start dreaming. It's time that we start having visions. That we start envisioning a world without power poles and power lines everywhere, because free energy will be restored. And all the energy companies will become redundant and they will disappear, because humanity will have energy everywhere we go. Free energy, just like the air we breathe, just like the sunlight. Energy is everywhere. The technology to harvest the omnipresent energy will become available again. Healthcare will become so perfect, so rich, no longer treating symptoms, making people dependent on the pharmaceutical industry, but teaching people how to live healthy lives, giving them food without poison, but filled with nutrients, so powerful, grown in rich and healthy, unpoisoned soil, not sprayed with toxins, but grown with insights and with knowledge, so that it becomes so healing for the human body. Everything in our societies can be changed just like that. And I believe that we are witnessing the very first rays of light of a new day that is beginning to dawn. And it may sound crazy to you, but stay tuned, because a lot more is going to be revealed about this.